Welcome. Thank you for joining us for our Fridays at First podcast. My name is Richard Gibbons. I'm a member of the pastoral staff here at First Presbyterian Church, downtown Greenville in sunny South Carolina. It is good to have you with us today. Normally, I begin our Fridays at First podcast with a little light-hearted humour that helps put us in the mood for the weekend. But over the last few days, we have been aware of the senseless death of Irene Zarutska earlier this week. The death of Charlie Kirk, political activist and Turning Point USA co-founder, the wounding of 2 students in Evergreen High School in Denver on Thursday, plus the senseless school shooting in Minneapolis 2 weeks ago when 2 children and the wounding of 27 others took place. Light-hearted humour doesn't feel appropriate today. The sense of shock and horror that accompanies acts of violence leaves families bewildered, unable to process the overwhelming sense of loss and sadness. Amidst it all, we are left feeling helpless as we look on, wondering, what on earth can we do? Yet we also know that in moments of intense pain, we instinctively pray. We pray for the families involved, asking that God's tender touch and comforting care would be a living reality to those whose lives have been blighted by the senseless loss of life. Please take a moment over the weekend to prayerfully remember families who will be devastated by the mind-numbing sense of loss and grief. As we look ahead this week, our Radiance kickoff event features author Katherine Wolf, who brings her inspiring story of true faith and healing. This kicks off Tuesday, September 16th at 6:30 in the evening in the Worship and Arts Centre. Tickets are required and are available at firstpresgreenville.org/events under the Radiance Kickoff icon. Second kickoff coming up very shortly relates to Above All Ministries, and they're excited to announce that they also have Katherine Wolf with them, and they're advertising their event for September 17th as it takes place in the Worship and Arts Centre. Doors open at 9:30 a.m. and tickets are available at firstpresgreenville.org, once again, /events. Towards the end of the month, we will be hosting our Missions Weekend, September 19 through 21. We're very excited that on the Friday evening, we will have a concert featuring the DR Band. It will be an unforgettable night of worship from 7 till 9 p.m. in the Worship and Arts Centre. Each summer, the DR Band tour the US to raise support for a hospital back home in the DR. Free tickets are available now at firstpresgreenville.org /events. Also on Sunday morning the 21st, all Sunday Life groups are invited to gather for a special Missions Weekend session as we welcome Grant Haynes, founder of Global Frontier Missions. Please come and join us. Fellowship Hall, 9:45. If you need further details, you can contact Autumn Clark at aclark@firstpresgreenville.org. Finally, in terms of looking forward and planning, we have a special event coming up with singer-songwriter Joel Ansett on October 9th, 7 o'clock in the youth space. Joel, as most of you will remember, was the opening act for Greyhaven's concert last year, and we're delighted he's returning. Tickets are available at firstpresgreenville.org. That's an evening you won't want to miss, and if you enjoy acoustic, folk, and Christian music, that's one just for you. When you purchase your tickets, please tell them I sent you, and they'll give you a Scottish discount. This week, I'm delighted to welcome everyone's favourite talking head and my genial co-host, Michelle Ward. Michelle, welcome, and thank you for having Tina Jones and Brenda Harper with you today as they highlight and focus on our special needs ministry.
Well, thank you so much, Richard, and happy Friday, everyone. I am so excited to be here today with 2 very special women. I am here with Brenda Harper, who is the Special Needs Ministry Coordinator here at First Presbyterian Church, as well as Tina Jones, who is famous here. I'm just kidding, Tina. Well, you are, with the children at least, right? Tina is the director of our children's ministry, and I'm just thrilled to be with y'all today. Welcome, ladies.
Good morning.
Thank you.
Good morning. I know I have a lot of energy, so I get real excited. We are here today talking about our special needs ministry and the activities and events that are coming up this fall. And I'm just so excited. This has really been a ministry that's grown here at First Pres, and I'm thrilled to get to be a part of it in a small way. But ladies, tell me a little bit about what's happening, what's coming up, and what's going on. And actually, let's just kind of get back to basics, maybe for new listeners. What is the special needs ministry?
So, a special needs ministry can look and feel many different ways, but for First Presbyterian Church right now, we are really focused on our children's ministries and strengthening them and supporting both children and families through their allowing them to be able to worship.
Absolutely. So we obviously gotten Culture City certified, which has been huge to kind of provide quiet spaces, sensory bags, things of that nature, right, Tina?
Yes, ma'am. So, that really helps whether someone's coming to church here on a Sunday morning or if they are at an event hosted by the church, that they can grab one of these bags and put on noise-canceling headphones, have a sensory toy in their hand, just a way that they know that they can be comfortable in our setting.
Right, right. And it's been successful so far. Don't you think that families have y'all gotten feedback that families appreciate being able to come and worship really as they should be able to? Anybody should feel welcome to come to First Pres. And we've had the Friendship Friday, which was new this year with David's Table. That was such a fun night.
Friendship Friday was a very fun night, and that allowed us to expand beyond the children's ministry to serve an older demographic. So youth and adults with disabilities finding community through David's Table. We were able to partner with them. And we're expanding a little bit even during Sundays for our youth program. So we're creeping little by little to start to serve more and more individuals with disabilities.
That's wonderful. Well, tell us about Buddy Break or anything really that you want to share with us today.
Well, we do have Buddy Break coming up at the end of October. So it's fun on the farm. Fall fun on the farm is our theme for our October Buddy Break. And I'm excited to say that we've trained probably 3 new buddies within the last 30 days.
Oh, that's
great. We would love to see that trend continuing to train new buddies, not only for Sundays and Wednesdays, but for our Buddy Break as well. So we've already had folks start to RSVP, both volunteers and families for Buddy Break.
And Brenda, tell us a little bit, because I know we've got some new listeners. What exactly is the Buddy Break?
Buddy Break is a time where families of children with disabilities can have some respite time.
Okay.
So they may want to have a date night out. They may want to get some shopping done. They may want to sleep. So
That's right.
whatever it is that families need, their children will be safe and they will have fun with us as we have buddies that come in and work with them, playing games, doing fun themed activities.
That's right. And dinner.
Is provided. Yes.
That's always huge for.
And keep in mind, siblings are really an important part of this puzzle too, because so many siblings are overlooked a bit because parents are, as it makes sense, really focused on the children that have the most needs. But at Buddy Break, everybody is getting a ton of attention and having a great time.
Well, that's what I was going to say. So if your child has a sibling, the sibling's welcome to come. However, it could also be a time where the parent and that other sibling could go spend some one-on-one time.
You're exactly right,
so
Michelle.
either way. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So it could be a date night with your spouse or a friend, a girl's night out, or it could be a date night with your other children,
Exactly.
I love that, y'all. It is such a sweet thing. And, the buddies seem to have as much fun as the kids who are attending, right?
Yes, that is certainly true. We have a lot of energy from both our buddies and the children that attend.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and we've got Fearfully and Wonderfully Made coming up. If our listeners don't know about that, I'm personally love this event. It's an event that God called us to provide a celebration night for kids and adults with special abilities. And each of them will have a buddy, Ambassador Buddy family as well, which we're working on some together after we finish this up. But, there's a lot of things we're just hopefully doing to make everyone feel welcome as, we do. Is there anything else y'all are looking for or that ways people could get involved or anything?
Well, one thought that I always think about when you're describing Fearfully and Wonderfully Made and we're talking about Buddy Break is that it's important for a church to say, not only are you welcome here, but you are wanted. And I
Oh,
think
for
that is the heartbeat of First Presbyterian Church, that all families are not only welcome, but they are wanted, and we want to listen to our families to know
Right.
how to better serve.
Yes, absolutely. Well, and we're so thrilled that you're here to do that. And Tina, you and your team have been loving people for years and welcoming people. I mean, I think we overflow every weekend. We might want to shout out that we need some children's ministry volunteers while we're at it.
It's a great time to talk about that.
Yeah.
Always, I feel for those who are not participating because they are missing out
For
on
sure.
exactly what God has called us to do, and that is pouring into these children, sharing the gospel with them, loving on them so that their families can go to worship. But
Right.
really, these children are learning the Bible and love every single time they're in the door. And so
Absolutely.
if you're not a part of that, you're missing out on all that fun and the opportunity.
Well, sorry.
And if I could pipe in about disability work, if you are on the fence thinking whether I should help to volunteer, I was reading recently that Clemson actually did a study that says families with disabilities and their children are near as much, twice as likely to not have been to a church service or not have attended a church service as their typical peers, whether that be adult peers or children peers. So if you are on the fence at all about volunteering with the special needs ministry, that alone might help to sway you to say, I can do this, I can give it a try. We'll get you the
Right.
training that you need, but there might be some families that could come just by your helping.
Absolutely. Well, and I feel like God he equips us for all the work that
Yes.
he allows, and I think that we sometimes go, "Oh, well, we're not qualified or we're not equipped," but that's his job, and we just kind of need to be willing. We don't need to be perfect vessels, just willing vessels,
That's
right?
so true. In fact, one of the things that we do in buddy training is we give all of the ideal marks of a buddy, and they're all the same things that you would use in any Sunday school class or
That's
any
right.
church service.
Yeah,
A
absolutely.
willing heart, an open spirit, and Christ-like demeanor.
That's right. And you've got plenty of support around you if you don't know something, you
Right,
know?
right.
So,
Well, and let me loop this back. You asked earlier if we'd had any feedback, and we did. I know that after an event, one of our event coordinators heard the feedback from a family that they have never felt more welcome.
oh, I love that.
And of all places, it should be at a church, right?
Of course.
And they felt that.
That's
And so I'm
wonderful.
And one of our
grateful.
children had some feedback too after the last buddy break. He did not want to get into the car seat.
Ooh.
He just wanted to stay at First Presbyterian buddy break. So that was some
And
really
I bet
good
by that
feedback.
point, Mom was ready to let him stay.
Right.
I've been there before. I'm just kidding. Well, and I love that. Well, and you know what? If you're listening, and if you have a child or young adult with special needs, or if you know someone that does, please encourage them. Encourage them to get involved, either as a family, just coming to worship here. You're welcome, or attending the buddy breaks and getting a little time off, or being a buddy. We've got lots of opportunities, and we are so grateful, Brenda, to have you again. I know we talked a little bit this summer, and Tina, of course, you. And the thing that you just said, Karen King said this this summer. We hope that no child ever grows up not knowing a day where they were told about Jesus, and it starts in their
Right.
childhood. And I'm so fortunate to have two sons that we live close by, and they've hardly missed a beat, even when they haven't felt like coming or wanted to come. It's one of those things that I can go, okay, of all the jobs that I've been given, over the years, my job is to lead my children to Jesus. And
That's it.
that's what we want to do here for your children and for your friends' children too. So please get involved. You can look us up at firstpresgreenville.org and go to the children's ministry. We've got the buddy break coming up. We've also got Fearfully, Wonderfully Made coming up on October the 2nd. We're going to be helping support and participate at Fairview Baptist Church for Night to Shine.
That's right.
And then obviously every single Sunday and Wednesday evening, we have opportunities for your child or you to be here. So just look us up at firstpresgreenville.org and go to the children's ministry. Well, Brenda, Tina, thank you all. Do y'all have anything else you want to add?
No, I'm just thrilled to be a part of this ministry and welcome any newcomers to the ministry to help serve.
Yes, thank you. And we're thrilled to have you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tina.
And finally, Please give a warm welcome on Sunday morning to the following families as they participate in the sacrament of baptism. At 8:30, Hallie Elizabeth Malinowski will be joined by Mom Shelley and Dad as Hallie is baptised. At 10:45, over in the Worship and Arts Centre, Ellison Grace Marado will be accompanied by parents Felix and Anna, and at 11 o'clock, Maxwell James O'Connor will be with his parents James and Erica as they look on with great excitement as James is baptised. Please take a moment and give a warm First Pres welcome to each of these families on Sunday morning. Our moment for mission on Sunday morning will be a capital campaign update, and we look forward to Sarah Reiser participating in all three services. As I look back on our capital campaign, it has been such a thrill to watch God faithfully at work, enabling us to participate in the remarkable facilities we have, and we fully realise we could not be the church we are today without your prayerful and sacrificial commitment. Thank you. On Sunday, we will also be continuing our recent series of studies on the Old Testament figure Abraham. And this week, we're exploring a fascinating passage from Genesis chapter 16, the first 6 verses, and again reading towards the end of the chapter. The chapter reminds us powerfully that God continues to work even through our poor choices and bad decisions. Over the next couple of weeks, I will be out of town with a group from the congregation. The dates I will be away are September 16 through 26, and there will be no Fridays at first. I will, however, look forward to being back. Meanwhile, I trust you have a great weekend and look forward to welcoming you on Sunday morning.